guys, welcome to my best of July post. I had to double check in my brain like what month it was. I do have quite a few books to go through for the ones that I gave 5 stars to in July. I'll go ahead and I actually had them in order, but I just accidentally took them out of order. So yeah, I'm going to put them in order really quick here that I read them in, and I'll start going through them. So the first book I read in July and really liked was a manga, and that was Witch Hat 8-Layer Volume 5 by Kamomi Shirahama. And I always want to like apologize for how I pronounce people's names. This has been an amazing series. The artwork and illustration in here is absolutely stunning. It's a very fun series. I'd say it's appropriate. They say 10 plus, which I think is a good age range. A lot of magic, great characters. In general, the characters are pretty kind to each other, but there are a lot of like dire situations they end up in and stuff like that with magical creatures, and it's been really good. It's a good story, good characters, excellent, beautiful illustration, and I am absolutely loving it. So I'd recommend this whole manga series. I was actually really disappointed when I found out that I had read the last book that has been released. Volume 6 gets released, I think, in September. It's either late August or September, and so I don't have to wait too long. But yeah, I'd highly recommend this. If you like fantasy manga and you enjoy magic and stuff like that, it's a really fun book to read. All right, the second book I read that I really loved in July was How to Marry a Werewolf by Gail Carriger. This has been out for a long time, and I've had it for a while to read. This is the first in the Claw and Courtship series, I guess. This is all set in the Parasol Protectorate universe, and it features Major Channing, who is in a lot of the older books in the series, and kind of the woman who is an American who ends up over in London for scandalous reasons, and she and Major Channing kind of hit it off, and it's very funny, very well done. I loved Major Channing in the series, so I was really excited to read this book. And I'm blanking on the main character, lead female's name, but she was just very likable. Like, she's into geology and she likes to wear pants, and she's just very weird for the Victorian time frame that this is set in, and I enjoyed her a lot as a character. All right, now the next few that I'm going to go through, you guys are just going to groan because they're all Annette Marie books. So if you're sick of hearing about Annette Marie and my obsession with her, then, you know, you can just skip the next few minutes or something. The first one is Demon Magic and a Martini by Annette Marie. This is, I believe, the 4th book in the Guild Codex Spellbound series. That's the only Spellbound one I have in for this month. I really like that book. I believe that's the one where you find out what's going with Ezra and all his like demon stuff. So very good. They always have a lot of action, really excellent characters, and they're just funny and fun to read. They're quick, fun reads, which is always something that I'm up for. And the next 2 books are in the sister series to Guild Codex Spellbound, sorry, blanking, and that is Guild Codex Demonized, books 1 and 2 in that series, Taming Demons for Beginners and Slaying Monsters for the Feeble. I'm going to admit, I think I actually like this series a lot more. It features Robin, who's a very slight young woman who is somewhat timid, and she accidentally gets bound to a demon, and her relationship with this demon alternates between hilarious and kind of touching because he's just not very familiar with a lot of stuff in the human world. And just the push and pull between these 2 characters is absolutely amazing. Again, there's a lot of action. You see a lot of characters from the Guild Codex Spellbound series. I really liked them. I actually just read, I think I just finished the 3rd one, and that was like even better than the first 2, and I dropped everything. So excuse me while I've been over. All right, and so then I have 2 more. So, you know, we're going on, I think it's a total of 7 books that I really liked in July. So it was a good reading month for me. The next one I really loved is one I got for review, and I wasn't really sure what this was about. And that is Driftwood by Marie Brennan. And Marie Brennan has done the Memoirs of Lady Trent, which I really like. It's a like Victorian alternate history where dragons are real, and it's about a woman who kind of goes against the, what am I trying to say? Goes against the traditions of the time, and that's not the word I'm looking for, and she becomes a female researcher who goes off and researches dragons. So that's a great series if you like it, but I didn't really know what to expect with Driftwood. I ended up really enjoying it. This is a series of loosely linked short stories about the world of Driftwood, which is a world where if your world was to go through an apocalypse, the fragments of your world might end up on the outskirts of Driftwood. And as more and more worlds end, those world fragments end up at the outside of Driftwood, and your world would move into the center until it is crushed into oblivion. Everybody forgets about your world. So really, really cool concept from World. And the whole thing is linked together by a kind of mythological, almost like figure named Last, who is a guy who seems to always have been part of Driftwood, who helps out people. And so this is a series of stories about how Last has helped people out, or the things he's done in Driftwood. And it's being told by other people who have experienced his stories. And they're all gathered together because Last has gone missing. And so you've kind of got like these stories and then these like little links in between where you find out why all these people are gathered together. So if you like really interesting creative worlds, this was amazing. And then Last also has that kind of very anti-hero kind of thing going on. So I liked it a lot. It's a very quick, short read, and I was actually kind of sad that there wasn't more to it. I would absolutely love to see some full-length novels set in the world of Driftwood because, wow, it was just really cool, and I really, really liked it. And then the last one I have is the newest book by Kevin Hearn, and that is Ink and Sigil. This is the first book in the Ink and Sigil series, and it is set in the Iron Druid Chronicles world. But it features a completely different character, Al something. His name is longer, but everybody calls him Al. And he is a sigil agent. And these are the people who create magical inks to make binding sigils to do contracts. And, they can kind of do their own kind of magic in the human world. And they help humanity deal with and be protected from all these gods from alternate mythologies and realities that occasionally interact with our world. I wasn't sure how I was going to like this one because Al is basically an old coot. He's an old man. And I don't necessarily relate really well with books that feature older elderly men as characters, but it really worked for this book. It worked really well. Al is hilarious. He embraces his old age. Of course, he's got, a lot of history going on there. Some of his companions in the book, he ends up with I think it's a hobgoblin that he contracts. And then he's got a office manager who's also some kick-ass war lady. The side character is hilarious. They interact very well with the main character, and I really liked the storyline. It was really cool. The main character has this unique feature where he's cursed so that if he talks to somebody too much, like if they physically hear his voice too often, they hate him. So he's got to kind of get around that. I really liked it. It was so well written, so easy to read, so creative. It's just one of those books I enjoyed every minute of it. So again, I would highly recommend this, especially if you like the Iron Druid Chronicles. I actually thought this book was a lot more polished and well written than any of the books in the Iron Druid Chronicles. I liked the characters better. I just thought technically it was a better written book. So yeah, those are my favorite books of July. And as I said, there were 7 of them, so there were quite a few. So these two were probably the ones I was most surprised and impressed by. But I also really continue to enjoy all the Annette Marie books that I read. And I really loved getting to visit the Paracel Protectorate world again. I will say Gail Carriger maybe isn't technically the best writer, but I really just like the humor and quirkiness of her book, so really enjoyed that. And of course, the Witch Hat 8 Leers. This is the 5th one out of the 5 that have made it to my best books of the month because this is just such a well-done manga series. So, yeah. Those are my books. I hope that you guys had a great month of reading out well. And if you had some great books that you really like to let me know about, comment down below. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed the post and have a great week. And I will talk to you later. Bye.